All right, so it's Jojo on the radio, and dude, I haven't seen you in, I don't know, a couple of years.
Couple years.
Avril, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Avril Lavigne's hanging out. Of course, we got to get to this album coming out. You got the single. It's it's Secrets just premiered it the other day.
Yep, it's called Here's to Never Growing Up.
What? Okay, let's just jump into that real quick.
Yep.
Here's to Never Growing Up. That's sort of my motto. Thus, the Peter Pan tattoo that says "Never Grow Up." You know.
Nice.
You like to see? So you must. What inspired this? Let's just give it to me, Avril.
Like, I sat around the studio with a bunch of dudes. There's like four other writers on the song on the track, and I was like, let's write something fun and kind of summery. And we were all just kind of like thinking back to like high school, and I was thinking back the last 10 years of my career, being in the music industry, and it's just about like, being young, staying young, wanting to be young forever, and also just really being present and living in the moment and having a blast. And that's what we were doing in the studio, and that's what the song's about.
Here's to Never Growing Up, of course, part of this album, which is yet to what's coming out in the summer, or so we think, right?
Yes, it's coming out this summer.
No date set, no official date, right?
Not at the moment.
The album is not, you're telling me the album's not completely done yet.
So, the record's done. I'm just, I've got 4 days booked in the studio this week to kind of sit down by myself, and I just want to write a couple tunes on my own because I did a lot of collaborations. And I'm kind of sad to be done the record. I had it was an amazing journey writing this album.
Why would you be sad? Because it's like, it's like,
I've
it's the
had so
whole
much,
moment.
I know. I've had so much fun. I've written so many songs and worked with a ton of new people. I also met Chad, my fiance.
Did you meet him on the project or prior to?
Yes, on the project.
Oh,
he
boy.
came in to write songs with me, and a few months later, we were together.
What was like you're sitting in the room, and of course you guys sparks start to fly from a writing standpoint. Like, wow, we're vibing here on this song. These lyrics start. He's thinking what I'm thinking. I assume that's how it kind of started up, right?
Like, we were just having a lot of fun, and there were a lot of laughs. And with writing music, you start bonding over that. And we have the same lifestyle, and we just became really good friends. And then when I thought the project was over between us, we started like kind of hanging out after, and we started dating in the summer. And so, yeah, but he's a huge part of the record. We wrote tons of songs together, and he's producing some of the tracks.
You're in love with this guy, and he's in love with you. How did you know he was the dude?
We knew right away. We started dating in the summer, and I think.
Did he make the first move, like, "Hey, Avril, let's get some lunch," or did you? There's a point when, because I've been through that before too.
I mean, he's,
like you can have lunch with a friend,
I let the
and
man lead. Like we started hanging out, and yeah, he would call me, and then he came to visit me when I was out in Paris and doing my thing, and we started dating, and like the next day, it was just, like we were in the studio still, so it was like very natural, and we started off as friends, and we bonded over a lot of things. We have a lot in common, so it just kind of happened, and it felt really good, and he's a great guy.
Follow Avril on Twitter at Avril Lavigne. You're approaching near like 10 million followers. You got people. Yeah, you're Avril Lavigne.
Twitter's fun, especially like with what I do. I get to communicate with my fans and send them pictures. Like, I was just shooting the music video for Here's to Never Growing Up, and I'm at prom, and so I took pictures of what was going on, and I tweet it. My fans get to kind of see what's going on. So.
And it's always you on the Twitter. I mean, I assume maybe a manager grabs it from time to time, but for the most part, it is you.
Yeah, it's me, and I use it more when I'm out on tour or I'm promoting a record, because it's like I don't tweet super personal stuff. It's more like what's going on, and this single's coming out, and here's what I'm doing today, and I'm communicating with the fans, and I get to tell them about the shows, and sometimes I ask questions.
Twitter's addicting. I'm a social network whore, Avril.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough
You're
of
a whore?
I'm a whore, Avril. That's right. I'm a whore. It's Jojo on the radio with Avril Lavigne hanging out. Don't forget the album coming out in the summer. Single, of course, Here's to Never Growing Up. Follow her on Twitter at Avril Lavigne. If you don't follow her, you're a horrible person. All right, speed round of questions for Avril Lavigne. Say pass if you don't want to answer. Avril, last big splurge. You've been working hard, Sometimes a girl's got to go drop some cash and buy something stupid. What is it?
It's usually a house.
Oh, there you go. Nice ring, by the way. That ring
That
is
was
beautiful.
Chad's big splurge.
Yeah, Chad. Yeah, he did it up. Hell, for that ring, I'd marry him. One thing you do every day, Avril Lavigne.
I check my emails.
Have you ever seen a ghost or a UFO, or do you believe in either?
I believe in both.
You ever had something weird happen?
I've had a lot of weird things happen. I've seen things.
I'm really into that stuff. So
Yeah.
give me a little taste of what you saw. Like
I mean, I'm an artist. I'm sensitive. Sometimes I pick up on stuff, but you know.
the one thing about artists, though, because you guys stay in a lot of these hotels around the
Yeah,
world.
I've walked in hotels and felt stuff before and changed rooms. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Strangest thing you've ever autographed, Avril Lavigne?
Like one of my first autographs, I was at like a radio show. I signed a girl's boob on my first record.
You're like, the first
She's
day
like,
out.
sign my and I was like, sure, cool. I signed someone's ass once, and they tattooed a couple times, and they tattooed it on them.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Did they send you a nice photo and you frame it? Probably not that, huh? Last furry thing you touched, Avril Lavigne. Be careful how you answer this question.
A little schnauzer dog.
Ever been mistaken for the wrong celeb, Avril Lavigne?
Nope.
Good deal. Do you think I look like David Beckham at all?
No.
All right. Embarrassing stage moment. Do you have an embarrassing on-stage moment that comes to mind?
No. Sometimes I forget lyrics, but I think that's okay because it's live.
Crazy fan encounters. Do you have one that comes to mind? Somebody went over the top.
One time there was a girl in my dressing room because the backstage security thought she was me because she was dressed up like me. And I walked into my dressing room and I was like, oh, I didn't really know what to do. So I just sat down on the couch and started talking to her until someone walked into the room and realized what was going on. I was like, oh, this would be really nice. I don't know what's going to happen. She's harmless. She's a fan. And then I just hung with her. And then someone walked in the room and was like, who are you?
So she doesn't try to sneak in as Avril Lavigne. She just happened to look like
she
you.
She got through. Well,
or did she say she was
a lot
Avril?
of the fans dress up like me, especially on my first record, and that's when it was. So she
Right.
probably had like the necktie on and the straight blonde hair and the black eye makeup. So they thought she was me, and she got in.
Have you ever made it rain, Avril Lavigne? Final question. Have you
I ever made it rain?
Made it rain in a club? Boom, boom, boom. You know?
Like rain?
No, well, not rain. Like money. You don't do that, do you? Like the hip hop world, flinging money out.
One time I went to a strip club in Vegas, and we had a bunch of money, and we were doing that whole thing, but it wasn't my money.
That's all that matters. Avril, thanks for answering my stupid question. And yes, they were stupid. Now you're not, after that stupid line of questioning, you're not going to put me on your album. Were you still you still consider me on your album a little bit?
Hell yeah.
All right. You guys buy her album when it comes out. Download the single. Follow her on Twitter. Whatever she asks, give her some love because she is Avril. She's hustling. She's doing her thing, and she's a real artist. And out of all these years she's been doing this, I've seen you a couple times throughout these years, and you are you. You remain true to who Avril Lavigne is, at least from what I can tell.
Thank you.
And your jacket's awesome, and I just love you. Thank you for hanging out. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.